And welcome to day 4 of the Advent Calendar series. So in this video we're going to be taking a look at inertia and how we can use the forms. So if you're coming from a Vue.js background, starting to work a bit with Laravel, you may be wondering, well, how exactly should I submit a request to the backend and how exactly does that work? So if we take a look inside web.php here, we've got a dashboard controller where we're returning an inertia view, and essentially in this case we are able to then in here have a form to direct toward a method we could call store, for example. So we could just have this method here for now in web.php. We could make this a post method and just say post and make this called dashboard.store. For now it doesn't really matter the values we are passing through in here, but more how we can use it. So I could go ahead, for example, in here and just have a regular input field, type text, and then we can go ahead and have a const form, and we can use form from inertia, which essentially goes ahead and import this from Vue 3. So in here you can see that we have use form, which comes from in here, and you can see we have all sort of methods in here, such as is dirty, errors, has errors, processing, the progress, if it was successfully, recently successful, and all sort of other things. So in here we could, for example, have this is a V model called name, and then we could go ahead and say name in here, by default an empty string. And then we could have a method in here called submit, and we could just have route the dashboard the store, which in this case, if we go ahead and hook this up to the store method, which will be in here, we'll go ahead and go in through here. So this is sort of like making an Axios request, except this already have the data stored here, and we have all the data hooked up using vModel or other means, where we can then essentially go ahead and say, for example, form.name equals abc, or we could go ahead and say form.reset, for example, so if we want to reset the form upon a successful store. So we have this opportunity here, and we can essentially just retrieve this using a request like we normally would, and we can then go ahead and say form.post root dashboard to store. We can then retrieve the request name in here and manipulate that and store it in the database. So what else can we do here? Because I would like to know, for example, when something is successful and when something is unsuccessful and when it's finished before the event happens, for example. So for example, we could say on before we could reset the form. On success, we could for now just log out the success here, and then we also have the option in here to say on error we can console log out the error, so we could retrieve the error in the callback function here and just print it out, or even just display to the user. You choose how you want to deal with this. But the other beauty of using inertia forms is that we have a lot more we can do in it. So if you have ever gotten into a Laravel project using Vue.js or React with inertia, you will probably have seen something like this. This is a use case from the Laravel inertia JetStream package, where we use form here. We have email and password, and then we essentially transform the form with the data in here, provide all this data here, and make sure that remember is on or off. And then we just post the login route. On finish, we reset the form, and then the backend controller will then redirect on success to the home page or the dashboard page. And then we can go in here and just look at all these being hooked up using vModel. And you could go ahead and essentially use this here. But furthermore, we have the ability to go ahead and retrieve the errors here using form.errors and then In this case, we could just go ahead and have an input error. And we could have message form.errors.name. Input error, again, is a default thing in the Laravel package, which just provides through the message and displays this here in a nice red text. And essentially, that's the basic of it. You're also able to preserve the row, for example, if you want to, or preserve the state. And these are some of the neat features we can use with Inertia.js in either Inertia.js 1 or 2.0. These features both apply, and you can go ahead and manipulate the data and decide what to do depending on if it's successful, having errors, or before it becomes successful, and when it finishes the request. That's all for this video though. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.